she's undead.
What?
Yeah, I could
You
sense
mean
it.
like a vampire or a zombie?
I guess like a vampire or something. I could sense that, and then the other one that was real weird looking, she was a fiend. I
One
didn't
with the
want.
misshapen face?
The gypsy?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I just didn't want to say anything at the party. Be afraid they'd catch on.
So, do we trust this person?
I don't know, but Alucard went. Alucard? Is it Alucard or Alucard? I can't remember. He went to see her.
Alucard.
And we need to find out what happened to him. I think she either did something or she knows.
I say we go see her.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, it's good to know what we're going to be up against. You couldn't tell if she's, like, zombified like some of the other things that we fought?
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
We know where her residence is?
Yeah, it's up around on the cliffs. I think it's over by the cemetery. That's where we went the last time. Okay, so breakfast, then we'll go get Talon and then head over there.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
So you all have breakfast without any issues. Head over for Talon.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Do we get there uneventful?
Yes, you do. So you're able to get over there. Talon, are you downstairs already, or?
Yeah, I'm already down there. I've already eaten, and I'm just sitting there kind of getting the pulse of how people are feeling in the morning, seeing if there's any talk or hubbub about the party or anything like that. If people are sticking around or if people are leaving back out of town, so on and so forth.
Yeah. So you haven't seen any, or you haven't seen Montague. He hasn't come down, and Shag. He seemed to be kind of hanging around the party when you guys left, so you're not sure at what point he was coming home. But you did see that Walrus has come down. He's kind of sitting over at the bar, kind of eating some food. Just kind of nodded to you as he came down, and is just kind of hanging out there with the bartender.
All right, I'll just kind of see if I can hear any talk or if I pick up anything of interest.
Sure. So you just hear, the bartender's kind of asking him about how the party was, and Walrus said it was interesting, and the bartender's like, well, did you hobnob with everybody, and who was there, and just kind of asking, sort of what you would expect someone, asking somebody who's famous or whatnot about a big special event, and Walrus kind of embellishes a little bit at times, but really sort of tries to not engage in the conversation.
No talk about Zeech leaving early.
No, nothing about that at all. Matter of fact, you can tell that Walrus sort of plays it as, makes it sound like it was a very nice party, and, has no bad things to say about Zeech at all.
Okay.
At that point, you see the rest of the party kind of coming into the bar there.
I'll hide.
Is he sitting next to Volrus?
No, he's sitting at his own table, I think. Isn't that right, Alan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Volrus is down there.
He is. He's at the bar.
I just glare at him as I walk past.
He does see you guys walk in, and he kind of takes a drink and sort of waves sort of sheepishly with his one hand, almost as if, cat that's got the mouse type of thing.
Is his leg still bandaged up? Or
Yeah, it is. It's still bandaged. You see that it's a fresh bandage that's on there, and he doesn't appear to be mad or anything. He just kind of bleary-eyed type of thing.
Any seepage from the wound? I'm interested.
It looks like a brand new bandage.
So I can't tell. Rats, I was hoping
Yeah.
that he was suffering.
Well, since it's the new bandage, probably did seep throughout the night. As you guys walk on by, you hear him kind of push the chair back a little bit, and he kind of stands up, and he looks, and he says, Aelith, can we talk a minute?
Momentarily.
How's the leg?
Sore. She's a good shot. You see him kind of limp over, and he's like, do you mind if we go sit over at that table over there? And he points to the table that's kind of way far away from the remaining group.
Of course.
You want me to come with you?
Just keep an eye out. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, he says, as Merrick, you say that, he says, I'm not gonna hurt her, obviously.
I think he more is concerned that I'm gonna hurt you.
Oh, well, Merrick, can you come? No, just teasing. He's like, all right, that's fair. So
I don't think I'd stop her anyways, but...
Yeah, probably true. And so he kind of takes you over to the side table, and you guys sit down. For the rest of the group, what are the rest of the group going to do? Haelith is chatting with Captain Walrus.
I'll get a couple of tables away, I guess.
Right.
Set up a watch.
All right.
I will sit as well.
Yeah, I'll pull out my loot.
Oh.
It's just time to entertain some folks.
Oh, yeah, I need to reset. Oh. Anything? Well, let me just do a real quick reset for a long run. All right, go ahead.
I'll play my loot.
I don't know. I don't feel inspired today.
So, as Spaz starts playing a little ditty on his lute there, and it sounds remotely like it did last night. Haelith, you sit down, and Phaleth kind of looks to you, and he says, "Sorry, I couldn't really talk last night. There was a lot of people there."
Well, I suppose I should apologize for shooting you in the leg, but right now I'm just not that gracious.
Fair. Did kind of treat you poorly.
You understand how much trouble that you caused, right?
No, I don't. I know when to leave early, and obviously you were too naive at the time to know that it was what was going on.
So, why, if this item was so important, did you sell it?
Well, it's the thing. Your parents didn't know what they had. Know that.
It doesn't matter. You sold it to some thief in Greyhawk.
It was evil. Pure evil.
Do you even know what it was?
Well, I do now, after I sold it. I didn't at the time. It looked like a dried up hand. Who cares about that?
You know that it has been in my family. We have been guarding that for centuries.
I know that now.
And you just came to town to steal it from us?
Well, not initially, but that's kind of what happened. I think that, I had a moment of weakness, okay? So, I didn't want to say anything at the party in case there was any Evan Triad people. But do you know what that was?
No, because I never opened the box. I just was doing what I was supposed to do and protecting it and doing a poor job of that.
Fair. And you gotta admit, I mean, you were young and didn't really know, so pretty easy. I don't think I could get away with that now, do you?
Definitely not. I would cut body parts off before you would get a chance to do that again.
Your family seems to like to keep body parts, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Not your concern.
Well, have you ever heard of something called Vecna?
Of course.
Alright, well, supposedly, after I fenced it and kind of looked to see what I was fencing, because nobody would really answer the question, that was the hand of the god of Vecna. The hand of the god. Your family had it.
And I'm trying to not let the shock show in my face because I really didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and so he kind of looks, because he thinks that you probably didn't. He still thinks that you're that young girl or young lady from way back when, and still thinks that you're pretty naive. See that in his face and the way he talks to you. Because, we all have moments of bad choices, right? And at the time, I thought it was the right thing to do. I've changed my ways. Working with these rangers now, we're doing some good things. Kind of whispers really quietly, and he goes, "Stay in this city."
I know, there's something wrong here.
Majorly wrong. I mean, did you see that party last night? What was all that?
I knew something was wrong when I hit the docks with those angels flying around.
They're everywhere, and they teleport. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
They teleport back and forth. They just pop up. I don't know if they've got scrying on everybody or what, but it's just scary.
So, are you here to do anything about that?
I'm here to scout out the place. Raven kind of filled me in about it when we were out on the battlefield, and he's not happy his dad died mysteriously when Prince Zeech came in, and I think that they're maybe looking to do a coup. This place is tough. I mean, they got a lot of those.
Well, do you know anything about Lashana and her connection with them?
I'll tell you this, she's drop dead gorgeous. There's no doubt about that. But sort of see him get that smile, that wolfish smile that he's had before in the past that you've seen. Only thing I know is that she's been in this town for a long time, and she's here helping the city. I mean, Prince Zeech initially came in and wanted to destroy all the churches. She kind of reined him back in and said that was completely inappropriate. So I think she's sort of the stopgap tempering for him. He's all about her, but she doesn't want anything. Why? What do you think?
Just curious. He seemed to defer to her a bit, so I was just curious her connection with everything in the town.
I think she's kind of like Iser, and really keeps him sort of dropping into that truly diabolical thing. I mean, he's got some weird things. Right? I mean, who?
If last night is any indication, I would say yes.
Right? I mean, who uses trolls for horses? I mean, wow. Crazy. Well, I wanted to say I'm sorry, and I know that moment way back then was. See, he kind of blushes a little bit. He's like, it just was a thing, right? So I think I just wanted to say I'm sorry, and if I would have known what it was,
It still doesn't excuse that you have unleashed the hand of Vecna out into the world.
I know. After I figured that out, I went back to find that guy, but he wasn't there. I heard about your games, though. Impressed. I initially didn't think it was true, but once I saw the action figure doll, I knew that it had to be you.
Yes, I keep much better company now.
He looks over your shoulder at Snowflake and Baz and Alan and Pimped Out Ren. He looks back to you and he says, definitely a company, that's for sure. That Merritt guy, he seems pretty protective of you.
Well, I can depend on him.
Well, you ever decide that you want to hook up with the Rangers, and let me know. I'd love to have a group like you. I think a lot of good.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of the group, but we apparently have another task on top of everything else.
Oh.
Since I have to clean up what you have done.
Gone anyway. Probably on some. Wouldn't worry. Family didn't have the eye, did they, by chance?
My family did not.
Okay, checking.
What, are you going to go back and look for it now?
Nope.
Still something else?
Nope. If I would have known it was something like that, I would have never taken it in the first place.
Well, if you hear any rumor of it, you find a way to get me that information. You owe me that much.
Fair. I'll be in town for probably another few weeks. I don't know how long you're staying. A couple months. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna help kill Raven out as much as I can. And how's Dad, by the way? Doing good?
My dad?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I have been banished from my home because of you.
What? Really?
Yes, really.
Wow, I feel terrible.
You should.
Maybe, you know what? When you're done with your stuff and I'm done with mine, maybe we can go back and I can talk. We'll go back together.
Right. You go fight your orcs, and my group and I will go finish what we have to do.
Guess this is it, huh?
This is it.
Oh, good to see you. He awkwardly kind of reaches over and tries to put his hand on your hand.
I don't. I just stand up and turn around and walk away.
All right. He's sort of stuck in that
When
half.
he moves his arm like that, I reach for the hilt of my sword.
He puts his hands up. Hey, easy, big guy. Easy. Nothing bad. Just gonna say goodbye. You are protective, aren't you?
I don't take my hand off the hilt. I don't pull it out.
He looks to the bartender. He says, can you buy a round for these nice folk? They did a great job at the party. You see he brings over a bottle of what looks like a wine, or kind of sets it down at the table.
And I slammed 2 glasses right away.
Pop the cork out. He kind of gets up, and you see he sort of hobbles back over to the bar and throws the bartender a few gold pieces, and kind of grabs his hat, puts his hat on, and walks out the door. Hobbles out the door.
So another lovely day.
Hey, what was that all about?
Old business. I had I wouldn't even call him a friend. He took
had
something-
a hand in some nasty business.
Yeah, have you ever heard? Just curious.
I think I'm good. Yeah. Not sure I want to know.
So, Lashana, are we
Yeah,
headed there?
Yeah, we should probably grab Talon and head over there.
Oh, that's right, he's hiding. Just kidding, Tim.
We can all just yell out, Talon, follow us. Lashana's is Mistwall, right? Lashana's is the Mistwall Manor?
Yep.
So let's head over there.
All right. So as you all move through the city, through the streets, you see that the city has sort of returned to what you would consider a normal state for the city. You see that the banners are still hanging, however, but in general, you see that the people are moving about their business. Not a lot of discussion about the party. However, they again seem to be occasionally whistling songs that you heard yesterday, and kind of talking about Prince Zeech and how what a wonderful leader he is, and I'm sure that was such a great party, and wish I would have went. You see that the gates of the palace are closed, and as you kind of wind up the street going towards the north, you see that over at the angels area, that's where the angels are at, you see there are several sort of blessed angels kind of sitting up on the heap around the edge there, kind of looking out, as if things are on a little bit more of an alert than you had seen yesterday, or maybe they're not quite as...
Are they staring us down as we walk by?
Not really looking in your direction necessarily, or staring at you, but you do see that they're generally just kind of looking in all the directions. They don't seem to be interested in your party as they walk by.
Is that ditzy guard still there?
He is, yep. He's sitting there. He sees the party kind of walk up and kind of gets up out of his little guard post that's there and comes out and says, "Good morning."
We're on your list today.
You are. Unfortunately, Miss Lashana is not available today. She had a meeting. She said that she will send someone to get you around midnight tonight. That's when she hopes to return. She apologizes for the inconvenience. She said,
All right.
She says, I understand you're staying... He says, I understand you're staying at the Deluxery, is that right?
Sorta.
It's kind of odd hours to keep.
Well, she's out of town, and she says that's as soon as she'll be back. She knows that you want to meet with her immediately, and she felt bad. Unfortunately, she was pressed to do something very quickly today, and it took all of her attention, unfortunately. She does apologize. She says that she does have information for you, and she looks to Merrick. She says that you had some inquiries, and she's knows that it's very important for you.
Yes, have her send a messenger by the Temple of Court as well.
Sure. Her sort of driver is his name is Kelgorn. He's a half-orc. He'll be by to pick you up. Again, she's deeply, deeply sorry about having to be gone all day today. She says she knows that it's a late hour, and but she knew that you guys wanted the information right away.
I'm
So
getting
she
kind of
wouldn't
antsy. I
be-
want to kill something.
She would be all tuckered out after getting up early, traveling all day, doing business, and traveling all night to get home
Well,
after a big old party.
yeah, Miss Lashana is a magnificent woman. She has the energy that I can't explain. It takes a lot for her to tire out. Again, I'm so very sorry. I wish there was something more that I could do to make her here come sooner, but unfortunately, well, you understand, right? I mean, she's a very important person.
Sure. What are we going to do?
Turn him into a frog.
That's not going to get us in to see Lashana any quicker.
So I guess we come back or she picks us up at midnight.
At the Deluxery?
I believe so.
It's going to send the driver to both places, I think.
Yep, it's standing there. I can send it to both.
Okay, we'll see you at midnight then.
Okay. I will probably... Yes, I'll be awake. Good day. And he kind of steps back and gets into the little guardhouse and starts writing on a piece of paper.
Right, so I guess we've got a day. Anyone have anything of interest to do?
Could cruise the cemetery.
Pick up chicks.
We're all dying to meet you.
Maybe
Rubbing
there's
off on me,
somebody.
Mary.
Maybe there's somebody there who could lend us a hand.
Always wanted to visit the dead center of town.
So what's that across the river there? Is that another town?
So that's a great question. So there's a collection of buildings that you can see that's over there as you're kind of moving along the road there, looking across. And it looks like it used to be kind of where the shipbuilding was, and probably the beginning or another section of town. But most of the buildings over there are now in disrepair, and you see that it doesn't appear to be. It appears to sort of be an abandoned area, essentially.
I'm going to whistle at one of them angel folks and see if they can come down and tell us what that is.
Okay. They kind of whistle and wave.
Wait, you called down. I keep walking.
All right. As he does that, you keep walking, and four of the angels appear in front of Merrick and kind of look at him, and they say, sort of with a kind of they go, "Yes. What's up? What's wrong?"
I was just wondering about that area across the river over there. What's that all about? And why isn't it part of the city anymore?
They both kind of quizzically look at you as they the first two in front of you kind of turn their heads to the side, almost as if they're trying to peer into your soul. And they said, "We've heard of you."
I've heard of you.
Causing trouble again.
No. Just asking questions.
That
When did I cause trouble?
you kind of see one looks at the other, and then the other one looks back to her, and they sit there for a while, and there's no words that are communicated between the two, and then they sort of nod, and they look to you, and they said, "It's been abandoned. Nobody's over there. Just useless vagabonds." How long are you staying in town?
As long as we need to.
They both look at each other, and then they kind of look back again, and... Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thanks.
As they sort of quickly blink out, and then you see them blink back over onto the carpets, kind of looking out again.
I would catch up with everybody and say, geez, they're not very helpful.
Well, that's because they're not the right kind of angels.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to do for the rest of the day? Want to just sit around, or are we going to go drinking? What are we doing? I think I've done enough drinking for a while.
If you guys don't have anything to do, we can just kind of sort of fast forward through the day if you want to, unless there is something else that somebody wants to do.
I don't have anything to do.
I'm fine with fast forward or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so the day kind of progresses without any sort of events at all that you've seen. You may have wandered throughout the town, or turned back to the Luxury for drinks or things like that. But for the most part, you see that several people from the party have returned back down into the area there. You see that most of the people seem to be talking about kind of the events that are there, that had occurred last night. A lot of them are talking very highly about the party and whatnot. As the time winds down, is that you had said at the Church of Cord and the Deluxery?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. So Talon, it comes by the Deluxery first and picks you up. And since you're kind of on your own there, I'll kind of give the description as it goes to the church. So as it kind of wheels around towards the church, you guys hear kind of a knock on the door of the Church of Cord as you're sitting there. It's about 11:45-ish of night or somewhere around there. And you see there's this tall, gaunt half-orc kind of standing there, and he kind of knocks and doesn't really walk in. He just sort of stands there, and as Lanthus opens up the door, he says, "Name's Kelgorn. Are you ready?"
I am.
I'm good.
He
I'm ready.
turns around on his kind of his heel there and starts to limp back towards the carriage. And he kind of gets up into the carriage.
It's big enough to hold all of us.
Yep. It's a very nice carriage. Matter of fact, probably nicer in design than the carriage that you rode to Prince Zeech's. Obviously, it has horses and controls.
Zeech is probably mad that Lashana was dancing with me. That's what he's all upset about.
Yeah.
Wait, did you dance with her before his head, the cake, head fell off into your lap?
No, it was after that. But I mean, I probably just added insult to injury.
Well,
'Cause
probably.
I just threw his head back, right?
Yeah, that probably wasn't diplomatic, just throwing his head back like it was, poo in your pants or something.
I was hoping nobody noticed. Besides, that icing might have destroyed my suit.
I don't know, but I'm betting that there's a few cooks that's not working there anymore.
Yeah, they didn't really think logistics of that. It just didn't have a nice solid perch up there.
Everybody gets into the carriage, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as you guys ride in the carriage, Kelgorn just sort of kind of sits there and drives the carriage over. You see that the gate's open. The guard is there. He kind of waves, puts his hand up as you guys come through the opening. You do find that the the manor is actually gorgeous inside. So you couldn't really see through the gate before, but you see that there's this kind of luxurious courtyard that's there. There's lots of fountains, and there's topiaries, and the topiaries that are there are carved into shapes of elven humanoids, various sort of beautiful, majestic animals like unicorns, things that you would kind of expect out of storybooks as a kid that when you were growing up, or stories of nice things. But it's all very peaceful as you come through, and you do see as you pull up to the front door, the doors are all sort of an kind of a pearly ivory that they're carved out of, and the building looks extremely old. He kind of gets out, Kelgorn gets out of the carriage and walks over and opens up the door and kind of indicates for you to come on out.
Go ahead, step out.
Me too.
I'll step out.
All right. He again starts to kind of limp up the stairway, and you see that the limp itself appears to be something that he's dealt with for a long time. However, you notice that he does try to hide the limp as much as he can, and he kind of walks up and he opens up the front doors, the ivory doors, and as he does, you see that there's this huge spiraling marble staircase that kind of dominates the entrance of the room. And you see on the walls are these beautiful paintings of what looks like the city of Alhaster over the decades, is kind of what you can tell. You can see kind of the growing up of it, and there's pictures of what appears to be rulers of some sort. You assume maybe they were old kings of Alhaster, the mayor of Alhaster. But you can kind of see that, and he kind of walks up this ivory staircase and indicates for you guys to continue without saying.
Continue walking.
Yep.
You're not going to join us?
Oh, Kelgorn, he indicates for you to go upstairs with him. He's going up. Yep.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. So he kind of continues up the steps, and as you guys get up to the top, you see that there's a kind of an open door to the left that he walks into, and you enter into this very large chamber, and the walls are kind of spacious, and they're tastefully decorated, and they've got shelves filled with leather bound tomes of a wide variety of topics. And you see there's a large desk that sits against the far wall, and its surface is empty except for a stack of what looks like tattered pieces of yellow paper that are sort of stacked up onto themselves. The carpet is a beautiful deep shade of crimson, and you see that kind of on the surface of it, you see what looks like a map of the city of Alistair that's kind of laid out there for you as you kind of walk across it. And then in front of the desk, you see there are several high-back chairs. There's about 8 of them that are fitted with velvet cushions. And behind the desk, you see Lashana. She's sitting there. She's wearing this very beautiful gold-trimmed gown that she has on. It looks like it's from LaFawn's because it has some white accents to it as well. It's cut very nicely to her shape. She does have kind of a low neckline that's there. Her hair is kind of all pulled up back, and she sees you walk in, and a big smile comes across her face, and it kind of stands up to the rest of you coming in, and she says, "You won't be needed any longer, Calgorn. I'm sure I'll be quite well attended to with such pleasing guests to keep me company. So have a good night." And with that, you see the half-orc kind of withdraws and bows stiffly to her, and then turns around and walks out. As he does, he pulls the doors shut behind him. Lashana looks and she says, "Please, have a seat. Sorry I was tied up. I apologize for that."
Who tied you up?
Not that kind of tied up.
It's kind of late in the evening to be holding meetings like this.
I apologize. I had some business that I had to attend to earlier, and fortunately, you know how that goes sometimes. You just can't ignore it. Looks over and she says, "Merrick, you look great tonight."
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll try to sit so I can have a good view of her desk.
Okay, all right, gotcha. So there's the desk is pretty empty, if that's what you mean, on top. There is that stack of papers, so if you want to sit closest to the papers, you could.
Yep.
All right, gotcha. You kind of sit down, and how about the rest of the group?
We get any sense of her, whether she's good or evil? Does my angel say anything to me?
Ah, okay, gotcha. I misunderstood what you were saying. Let me... So, Mary, it's tough to say. So, your angels seem to be uncomfortably absent.
Well, I'm uncomfortable then.
Fair.
So I won't say much other than we're here because Alucard mentioned that he was going to see you.
Oh, yes, I knew you had mentioned that, and I apologize. I just didn't want to say anything in that room. There's ears there that may have ill will, right? And I didn't want anything to occur. But I did want to talk to you about it because I do think that it's important. And she kind of puts her hands on the papers that are there, and she says, "I have Balicard's journal, or well, at least what's left of it. That please." And she kind of pushes across. She says, "You'll see that he was quite mad. I mean, he was obsessed. That poor guy. Breaks my heart. But it looks like he was obsessed with worms, no less. Really tiresome reading. But please look it over and feel free, and then we can kind of talk about it afterward. Like to." And she kind of pushes it over, and she says, "That name I hadn't heard in a long time. It's been over a decade since I met Alucard."
What did you and he talk about, though? Specifically, he was looking for several things when he came to town.
This is okay. I'm gonna share this with you. Now that I look at it, I see that the name wrong, so I will that. But This is at least. So that's when I ran it in Forgotten Realms. So she kind of looks to you and she says, go ahead and take a look at the notes real quick. And she said, but Balakard, he left it with me. At least I assume he meant to come back for it, but never really did. It's really taken a beating over these past 16, 17 years, but managed to preserve at least the key parts of its contents. That was your question. He came to me kind of asking questions about things with the worms and stuff.
Did he talk to you about the cult? And Mother Maggot?
Maggot. He asked about that, but I had no idea what that was. The cult, he did ask about this Ebon Triad cult, which at the time I didn't know much about. I mean, I've lived here for a long time, and after he brought that up, we looked into it briefly and didn't really find anything, and thankfully Prince Zeech came to town, and he was able to root them out of the city. They had been here the whole time, right underneath our noses.
So how long have you lived in this town?
We're up here, so I'm about, we never really reveal our ages, do we? She looks to you, Haleth, and kind of smiles. She says, let's just say I've lived here half of my elven life.
Understood.
A lifetime, half of an elven lifetime. And she kind of smiles.
Half of your elven lifetime?
Well, yeah, us as elves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks at you quizzically, and she says, what do you mean?
It was an odd way of saying that. That's all.
Oh, my words probably got tongue-tied. It's been a long day.
It has been.
Do you know where Skull Gorge or Forge is?
So that's Rift Canyon, sorry. That's the name that has to be changed. But that's
Okay.
Rift Canyon, and that's in the northern... it's in the Bandit Kingdom, kind of north of here. I apologize.
Oh, no problem.
What was it again? Rift what?
Rift Canyon?
Is it a long journey from here?
Yeah, it is. It takes definitely some times to get there, but I think that it's important that we discuss other things first.
So Balakard sought you out and left this journal page with you.
She says, well, and this is kind of weird, and I apologize it's written out this way, but these would be, if you reviewed the stack of notes, these would be sort of the highlights that she kind of has highlighted for you out of his notes.
Gotcha.
So, yep. So each paragraph, I think, is kind of a little bit of an excerpt out of those notes there. So sorry about that. So she says, yes, I mean, as you can see through these notes, he just rambles about this stuff, about worms and all these things. And she said, I think, at least going through his notes, I've reviewed them before. I think these are the best sort of things out of the notes that I could put together.
All right, I'm going to watch her reaction when I say this next thing. Watch her reaction closely.
Oh, okay.
So he references Cayuse here a number of times. Have you ever heard of Cayuse?
So she kind of looks
You know,
at you,
other than what Balakard has in his journals, of course.
says, "Well, I hadn't until I went through his notes and saw this what he has here, and I did some research that was there, kind of an insight check, Halo, and she says, so I started to do some research. This Caius is terrible. I mean, this sounds horrible. This is like the end of days type of stuff."
Yes, we've come across a number of things describing Caius and his cults.
I just, it's dreadfully scary, don't you think?
It is, and that's why we're here to discuss this.
Says, I think it seems pretty obvious that this Dragotha tends to release Caius from prison, don't you? I mean, bringing in this age of, what does he call it? Age of Worms, I think he calls it.
When we were in Kulith Mar, we did find some information that led us to believe that there was some kind of dragon that took a monolith to the north. I don't know what this Dragotha has to do with it.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. So in my kind of looking into my notes and things like that, and you can even see with his notes, I think the dragon that you saw in this vision was probably Dragotha. Unfortunately, he became undead. I think, wow, fascinating, isn't it? I think that the solution's pretty obvious now, right? I mean, a king without a commander is powerless. I mean, if Caius is the king and Dragotha is the commander, take out Dragotha and it'll be centuries before anybody can bring that worm god thing back.
Well, I think it would hinder him coming back. I do believe that.
I've done a little research about Dracoliches. Do you know about a Dracolich? Have you ever heard of that before?
I have not.
Dracolich is an undead dragon, essentially, and Dragotha is that now. I mean, there's definitely been rumors about that, as you can see even here. So, but every undead dragon has a phylactery. Have you ever heard of a phylactery?
I have. I don't know the details of it.
So, essentially, as long as he has a phylactery, he'll return. So he can never be killed. And if you destroy the phylactery, then he's able to be killed. So I think if you can find his phylactery, I think you could kill him. And if you look here, it's this Order of Storms. It looks like they may have it. I couldn't really figure it out from the notes.
If they had the phylactery for the Dracolich, why wouldn't they have just destroyed it to kill him permanently?
They weren't powerful enough? I don't know.
Who are the Order of the Storm? I've never heard of them.
Yeah. So, Order of the Storm, from my research, has been this group that died out long after the victory against the Age of Worms, and they were sort of this protectors, I guess, is what you would call it. They stopped the resurrection of Caius about 15 centuries ago, and They believe the historians kind of believe this order kind of died out not long after the victory. Was maybe even hunted down and destroyed by surviving members of the cultists. Sorry, Snowflake, I missed that. Haven't really heard of them before.
Okay.
Alrighty. And so
That was my one for the night then.
it was your one for the night. It was. And so, but she says, I think these records are incorrect. My understanding is, at least from my research, is that they've retreated to this stronghold on a remote island, sort of in the middle of the lake, called Tilagos. You heard of Tilagos before?
Is it to the north?
It's actually to the west. And it's sort of this hidden island of sorts. It's not really on any maps at all. And on the island is kind of a library, sort of a repository of their lore. And wizards and scholars, explorers have all been looking for it for hundreds of years to get these secrets. But it seems like nobody can find it. Or at least if they go out to look for it, they disappear. And I think probably if there's anywhere that's going to know where this phylactery exists, it's probably there.
Well, if no one can find it, I mean,
Well, the area is known generally. It seems that when people go to look for it, they don't really return.
Well, that's a whole lot different than never finding it.
Well, that's true. I guess you're right. I think that... So, I did a little research onto the island. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to get out there to look at the island myself, but my understanding is this was sort of kind of something that they built to protect the information that was there. So they kind of made a bargain with the primal elemental forces right at the end, and they sacrificed their lives to sort of whisk the island's interior off the material plane. So it's kind of on this barren rock that's surrounded by this ever-raging storm. So anytime any ships sort of approach the area that it was at, within 10 miles, they typically become lost. The island doesn't really appear on any maps, and stories hint that these druids sort of left a way for those in need to reach the secrets, while at the same time kind of keeping it away from the prying eyes of Caius's undead fanatics.
you said they shipped it off to another plane?
Yeah.
Fortunately for us, we have a well-traveled plane.
We have an extra planer with us, yeah.
Really? And she looks us over to Spaz and she says, "You travel the plains as well, huh?"
I can do it.
Excellent. Well, it's a good thing that you're an extra-planar traveler, because it's important for this group to have somebody who's traveled the plains.
I haven't done it yet, really, but I can. Haleth does it all the time, though.
Not intentionally.
Kind of smiles. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I should have known that you would be the plane traveler. I mean, considering the makeup of the group."
As I said, it hasn't been intentionally.
I bet.
I'm looking at her rather oddly with that comment.
Fair. Do you have Hal with you too, by the way?
No,
Oh,
Al
okay,
is
gotcha.
still back at
All
quarters.
right, I just want to make sure. So she kind of looks and she sort of smiles, but she says, "Unfortunately, though, I'm afraid others have learned about this as well. May actually be in part of my own research. I'm sorry. I have a fair amount of competition in the arena of gathering and keeping secrets, and invariably word gets out that I made a discovery of sorts, and my enemies are always kind of quick to nip at my heels. I haven't figured out how they find out this information. I share with few, and but they just seem to have this ability. I speak in particular to sort of a simpering dog of a man. His name's Heskins, who once served me. I'm afraid Heskin has been wooed from my side at promises of wealth and power, and sort of taken word of my discovery to a disreputable man indeed, a powerful priest named Darl the priest of Vecna.
Of Vecna?
Yeah, Vecna. This Heskin has really sort of betrayed me, sadly.
How did he betray you?
Took my information and ran and took it to this priest. But he kind of smiles a little bit. Says, he's never too far away. Well, so to speak. Kind of reaches up and you see she kind of takes her hand and she sort of plays with her hair tie that's there. And as she does, she brings her hand down, and as she does, you see there's a small lock of brown hair that's tied with a gold wire on a fine gold chain. And she kind of pulls it out and she sort of sets it down, and she says, "Thankfully, Heskin's barber saved some hair for me." Says, I like to keep tabs, if you understand, on people that I've met before, and I have people that help me with.
Do you watch us?
Of course not. I just met you yesterday.
Of course you wouldn't, spy on your friends.
Of course not. And we just met, by the way. She says, so, if you're interested, we could peek in on Heskin and his friends.
Certainly, we can see where they're at.
Fascinating.
So she kind of opens up the drawer on her desk and she pulls out a scroll. And as she does, she kind of folds out the scroll onto the desk itself. And she says, if it's not too discerning to anybody, I'll have the image sort of portrayed in between us, if that's okay.
Sure.
I'll see the same as you, but we'll be opposite. Have any of you ever done scrying before?
I'm
I
shaking
have
my
not.
head.
She kind of nods and she says, it can be a little disconcerting, but on the same token, it's rather insightful, as you can imagine. So she starts to cast off the scroll as she's sitting there, and holding on to the hair that's in her hand. And after about 30 seconds to a minute or so, you see that this image starts to sort of kind of fade around the edges, or makes an edges of, looks like probably about 5 feet by 5 feet in width by about 4 feet in height, kind of appears with these edges that are there. And as that occurs, you immediately kind of get this image of a tumultuous scene that's kind of a howling wind, and you see this ocean tempest, and the image kind of clears to show this deathly pale man that's kind of lashed to the ship's mast with several coils of rope. Although the details beyond the 10-foot radius around Heskin is hazy and unclear, it's obvious that he's been tied to the mast, and the ship is caught sort of in this tremendous storm. The decks are kind of awash with foamy water as waves or driving sheets of rain kind of torment the terrified man that's tied there. You do hear the sound of what sounds like gruff sailors kind of shouting commands and curses in a language that is not common. Ren, you are able to understand this language, so and it sounds like orcish yelling that's kind of coming across the yelling that's there, and then every now and then you can see sort of a frantic orc sailor kind of coming into view, and he's kind of running across the picture as you see it, as they look to be kind of trying to secure the ship that's there. At one point you see two cloaked little cloaked figures kind of drop to the deck from the rigging on either side of Heskin. Each are kind of identically wrapped or dressed in sort of these tightly wrapped silken scarves and have small devilish horns that kind of sprout out from their heads. The cloaked figures kind of share condescending glances at Heskin, and their eyes glow with this infernal fire as they move out of sight of the image you see and move kind of towards where you think the ship's bow would be. Soon after that, you see this blazing red-skinned humanoid with an immense bulging frame just kind of strides casually into the scene, and the rain sort of sizzles as steam as it strikes his burning skin. And as he reaches Heskin, he kind of looks down at the man and then looks towards the bow and cries out, "Darl, it looks like your pet may have taken on a little water." And with that, the creature kind of explodes into this big belly laugh, and he's like, and a few minutes later, there's two other figures that sort of step into view, and the smaller of the two is this shifty-eyed, almost humanoid bird. You've seen these before, like Kenku, who wears a hooded cloak and carries this a repeating crossbow, which you immediately recognize, Haleth, is very similar to the one that you have. His cowl kind of protects his face from the wind, and his hands are kind of obscured by a long, sort of rain-soaked sleeves. He sort of squats down to Heskin and speaks to him in a low voice. Oh no, that's the other. I'm sorry. The other man is a towering man clothed in flowing blue robes with eye designs, and you can't see his face. And he kind of bends down and he says, "Only a few hours more, Heskin. We'll see if you live or die." Suddenly, the blue robes man head whips around and looks directly into the scrying sensor. He looks straight into your faces. His face is pale but commanding. He sort of twists this snarl onto his face as he stands up. "Seems we have guests, my friends," he says. "Perhaps an ally of this useless man." He turns around to the bound man, and as he does, he pulls back his left sleeve, revealing a rotten, black-nailed appendage that seems to writhe and twitch with its own life. "We can have your friends watching us, so it seems your journey..." "Oh, we can't have your friends watching us, so it seems the journey has come to an early end, Heskin." Putrid hand unfurls and reaches out to caress Heskin's brow. He shrieks in pain as the fingertips freeze the skin as it touches an angry black scar across his face. The blue-robed man, he makes a fist and utters a single, unintelligible word. As he utters the word, Heskin's eyes bulge, cords in his neck throb, and he slumps against the bonds, dead. At that point, the scrying link is... and the image fades from...
Was that your hand, Haleth?
That was all in order, I bet.
Nope.
Okay, good.
I just put my head in my hands and shake it. Would I know that's the hand of Egna?
You can do a Arcana check. I don't think you had ever seen the object, so...
Is there any chance that any of us might have recognized it?
Yeah, Arcana or Religion, if you want to. You're more than welcome to if you're proficient in either.
So, yes, Merrick, we can discuss that later.
Okay. So it looks like we're off to some stormy island in a lake that we don't know where it is.
Well, Shauna, was that man in the blue robes, was that Darl?
So you see, as you look over to her to say that, she appears to be shaken. It's the first time you've ever seen her actually not smiling and seeming to hold her own. And she quickly kind of recovers and she says, yeah, that was. Damn. Well, I mean, I can't say Heskin didn't have it coming to him. Or in and on him, I guess. She takes the hair and she kind of does a thing with her finger, and you see the little flame comes out, and she puts it and it burns the hair. Clicks her finger and that disappears.
You know that the artifact that that person has, right?
Shauna says, yes, the Hand of Vecna. It's interesting it's entered back into play. I hadn't heard of that being around for a very long time. I wonder how that happened.
Who knows?
Mind doing a deception check for me?
I'm looking sheepish.
They're looking sheepish. Oh. All right. Says, well, I guess somebody else is on their way to the island. That's unfortunate.
So, how can we get to Tilagos? The quickest way that we can get there?
Well, it's right along the northern reaches here. It's not on any maps, but I happen to have a few maps that sort of give its approximate location at least. And you see her kind of stand up, and she walks over to all the books and tomes that are there, and she pulls out a large leather-bound book, and she kind of brings it over and sets it down, and she kind of flips through, and you see it's a book of maps of World of Greyhawk, and you recognize some of the maps that are there, but as she's paging through, there's many that you don't. And she finally gets to sort of the area around here, and she kind of points down at the map about halfway, 100 or so miles to the west of Alistair, and she says it's located in this general location right here. And you can see there's like this large cloud that's sort of covering the map. It's drawn on there. Like it's somewhere in there. And you would ask how to get there?
The quickest way.
Think port, fly a dragon, take a boat. Sure, you've got plenty of options available, and I mean, help with that. This may not be for you. You can figure out transportation or how to get there?
Of course we can.
Okay.
We just need to know the fastest way.
Ah, I see. Teleport, I guess, if you figure out how to get there? Boat, if not? I'm really not sure. I've never traveled there.
Be rather dangerous teleporting there blind.
True.
Yeah,
It's true.
we end up in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Might.
Or worse.
Could fly.
Do they have any griffins here in Alistair?
Not here, unfortunately. Those are the people that you saw in the vision.
Who were you? What made you so scared in that vision?
She looks and she says, I'm sorry?
Well, when the vision ended, you looked quite disturbed and upset.
Thought that the Hand of Vecna is back.
That's it?
That's it?
And I lost my crying friend. I now can't see what Darl is up to. But he had it coming to him. Why? Is there something else I should have been upset with?
Well, I don't know. I was just trying to figure it out.
Ah.
Do I think she's telling the truth?
Yeah, she seems truthful. I think she seems a little, I don't want to say put back, but a little unsettled by kind of what she had seen in that vision there. She does seem truthful that it's related to that. Doesn't seem like she's holding back.
Okay. Where can we catch some flying rides.
Well, not really here in Alistair. I mean, you could probably maybe head towards the east, but it's going to add on time for you. There's ships leaving here every day. I mean, you could see if you could commandeer one of those if you want.
Is the place we're going to on this big lake right here?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
She indicates, she points to the map. She says, here's Alistair, and then she kind of points off to the west, and you can see on that map that there's large cloudy area. She's like, that's about where it would be at.
Okay.
Did we have a way to contact Nilia again? I don't remember.
You don't, unless you wanted to. You could do. Don't you guys have sending stones or something?
We don't.
I have sending as I think I do. I had sending as a spell. Let me check.
I have sending, and I also have telepathy.
On the Bandit Kingdom map, I put the arrow about the location.
User in your channel timed out.
Iris dropped. About where I think it would be. Yep, right in there. That's
Okay.
right.
Oh, okay. We'll grab a ship from here then.
Did they change the polymorph spell, or did it always limit you to a beast?
Always limit.
User entered your channel.
I don't suppose a rock counts as a beast, does it?
No, I think that's a monstrosity. I can look.
Giant eagles count.
Yeah, but Giant Eagle can't carry the entire group.
Yeah, it's a rock is a monstrosity. How long does it stay polymorph?
No.
An hour.
I know Ren has a griffin, but I don't think it can.
Yeah.
I got an idea. See something here real quick. How long does enlarge last?
A minute, right?
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Thought though.
Even with both of us casting it, we wouldn't get very far.
We'll get about 2 minutes.
Well, I do have that thing that extends stuff that I can. Let me look at it.
So it would be 2 minutes.
3 minutes when you cast mine in there on top of it, or right behind his.
As long as the timing's right. Or any of us fall off.
Well, at least I have water breathing, so hopefully we won't drown.
Well, you won't drown.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
up to 10.
I can teleport, but like I said, it's awful dangerous if we don't know where we're going.
Yeah, we should just, it's not that far. We should take a ship from here.
Agreed. We could probably see if we can, just rent one for a few days.
And some sailors.
Let's do it then.
All right. So what time? It's about 2 in the morning now?
Yep.
I guess we should head back and get some sleep and head out tomorrow.
All right, let's wrap this up with Lashana then.
Shauna looks to you all and she says, if I find anything more, I can communicate with you if you would like, or are you going to be returning back here?
Kind of all depends on what we find there, doesn't it?
Suppose it does. And she says, please, feel free to take Balakard's notes. I have no use of them.
Thank you, I will. Well, thank you for the information.
Yes.
And
please communicate if you stop this age of worms and kill Drakotha. I think we'll all be in a better place if you do.
right, we'll let you know if we make it out of this. Thank you for your hospitality, and I think that unless there's anything else anyone else has to bring up, we'll go ahead and finish our evening and then get on with this.
Okay.
I'm good to roll.
Yeah, I don't have anything else I want to find out.
Okay. So Lashana stands up and she walks towards the door and she just kind of slides across the carpet with her gown kind of rubbing against the carpet there, and she opens the door and stands there and kind of smiles and says, please, I am more than happy to have Kelgorn take you back if you would like.
Did she look like she was walking, or did it look like she was just floating over?
That's hard to say. You can't see her feet.
Sure. You can do it if you practice a lot.
Am I getting some pretty strong undead vibes from her?
Yes.
Ren did say that, she felt like she was an undead.
Right, I wasn't sure if he had said if she was evil or not, though.
Yeah, Kellen would know that I said that, I think.
Oh, that's true. That's right. But yeah, that's all right. I don't think he did. Did you do detect good and evil?
No, I did not.
I didn't think so.
Was it really necessary at that party?
True.
So I whispered that to both of those guys.
I think we should go and try and find a ship now so that we can get the morning tide if we can.
Okay.
Who's going to be awake at 2 in the morning except drunkards?
What time is the morning tide? Does anybody know?
5:14.
Pretty accurate.
I just want to know which one I'm going to stay up to find out if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't matter if we catch the first ship off the tide.
I guess not. The longer it takes for us to get there, the more time they have ahead of us.
True. Well, we can stroll by the docks on our way back on our way, sort of, and see if there's any ships getting ready to leave.
Okay. All right. So as you guys exit the study there and go down the steps, Lashana stays up on the platform on the second story, and you do see that the door downstairs is still open, allowing this sort of cool sea breeze to kind of blow through, and kind of stands there and up top, and she says, I look forward to hearing about your adventures when you've finally destroyed Drakotha. She's not, but that's a good question. Just a Freudian
You
slip.
slipped up. Oh, no.
I know.
That's
right?
what I was thinking.
And as Can't think of any other group that could have a chance against Dragotha.
Well, as I said, once we finish what we're doing, we'll send message to you.
Please.
I think she's a lich, though, anyway.
You say that out loud.
Oh, no, that's all in my head.
And she just kind of stands there and waves as you guys walk out the door. As you go through the gates, the guard is kind of bleary-eyed. He kind of rubs his eyes as you walk up, and he says, late night. Walks
Early
over.
morning.
Yeah, early morning. He unlocks the gates and opens them slowly for you guys to have a good morning.
You too.
As we're walking down the road, I'm going to say, well, on a positive note, if she's a vampire, she's invited us into her house so we can get in anytime we want now.
I look at him and say, no, that works the other way.
I will then start to have a discussion with Merrick about how he's wrong on that as we're walking down the road.
You guys are arguing about
Yes.
vampiric. Sounds good.
So you think she's a lich or a vampire?
Well, she did look a little pale, but they both look pale, I think.
I've never met either of them.
I'm just going off what I think I've heard. What I imagine they would be like.
So I couldn't tell if she was outright lying to us during any of that. She seemed sincere with everything that she was saying, though.
Yeah, that's what I got too from her.
So it does make me a little uncomfortable that she's undead of some kind.
She's got some other kind of skin in the game here. If she's not part of the worm thing.
Well, she did hand over a lot of information. I mean, we wouldn't have known where to go from this point. Ren, what's your thoughts? I mean...
Yeah, I don't know. I think we just watch what we tell her and keep an eye on her. Then use her for all we can until we have no use of her anymore.
Well, that's why I was kind of, I didn't spill like everything that we had seen. Like I didn't tell her anything about the cults or what we knew about the Age of Worms. So
I wonder. So she talked about this priest and everything. I wonder if she knows she's undead. She kind of acted like, I don't know if she actually knows she's truly undead. I wonder if she's oblivious to that fact.
How would you not know that you're dead?
did you know that you were dead?
No idea what you're talking about.
Touche. Oh, that was quick.
Of course I would know if I was dead.
Well, you were
So-
dead.
That's a good point. So maybe she doesn't know.
She did kind of answer you about her age in a strange way, though.
Yeah, it just didn't sound right. But again, nothing she said seemed to be an outright lie. So whatever she is, she gave us some decent information.
But it's not like we haven't known people in the past who have helped us when they had ulterior motives, is it?
I walk up to him and quietly say, "Are you the snowflake? Are you the real snowflake?"
I am.
Just checking.
So we should be about the docks now. Are there any ships making ready?
Yeah, so as you go through, you do see there are some, really two ships that are docked there. One of them appears to be fairly seaworthy. Appears that it would probably cross the ocean here to the other side to Greyhawk. The other one appears to be one that probably would stick close to land. It only has one mast on it, and appears to be relatively sort of disheveled. However, both ships do not have any crew, and the dock area is surprisingly quiet, except for a few drunks, hobgoblins that are kind of staggering about as they're moving through the area. It looks like they're heading back to their home. You do see the gallows are there, and you do see that there are what appears to be two additional humans that are kind of hanging on crucifixion crosses that are there, but they appear to be dead at this point.
Is one of them small?
Maybe? No, they're not. It's not. Are you talking about the Fabler?
I'm talking about our little friend.
Oh, the kid. No, they're not. However, one of them does appear to be a hobgoblin.
Is it the female that we ran into at the bar?
No, it's actually Bacrus.
Across.
The one who, like, stopped us in the street? Are there any hobgoblins around?
No guards. There's the two drunk hobgoblins walking by.
Nah, I don't want to talk to them. Well, I wonder what he did.
He lost the race, that's for sure.
Yeah, but he was at the party last night, so did you guys see him do anything like to irritate Prince Zeech?
I don't think anybody irritated Zeech more than I did.
Yes, but wasn't he earlier on at that when we were sitting down, wasn't he kind of causing a little bit of a commotion by antagonizing?
Didn't he give us the tickets?
No.
You guys bought the tickets at Luxury.
Okay. Yeah.
Am I remembering that incorrectly?
Yes.
I mean,
No, that's correct. He was causing a little bit of a commotion in the beginning.
something about when the song was singing or something that he was harassing, I think it was Spaz about doing better, or was that Merrick?
You know, he was harassing you guys about things. And
Oh yeah, he wanted to fight me. And I called him a loser, right?
Yep.
Apparently I was more nail on the head there.
The ship that looks more seaworthy that you said was here.
Yeah.
If we go up to it, the captain should be on the ship, right?
He might be.
Maybe. I'm going to walk up to it and say, hello on the ship.
The door opens and a light turns on and into the ship, and you see the door opens up, and as the door opens, you see a elven woman kind of opens up the door, and she's dressed in shipworthy type clothes, and he goes, "What do you want?"
We wish to hire your ship.
"Not for sale." Goes and closes.
I didn't want to buy it. I wanted to hire it.
It up, opens the door back up, and she's like, "Want a what?"
I want to hire your ship.
"Not for sale."
I don't think she's very bright.
We want to go on a cruise.
I want to be a pirate.
Says, well, sign on the line. Come on up here.
Do you have pressing matters right now?
Says, yes, sleep. You planning on leaving now?
As soon as possible.
Like it's going to be worth a lot of money.
I'm sure we can scrounge up the 50 or 100 gold.
Going to be more than that.
I look over at Aelith.
What's your price?
Says, are you planning on leaving now? And where are you going? That really depends, doesn't it?
We're heading towards Walworth Island.
Where? Never heard of that island.
It's a big island not far from here. Almond Fort, ever heard of that?
No. Haven't.
We're heading out into the middle of the lake.
What? There's nothing out there. Water.
Then it'll be easy money, won't it?
Heard of dragon turtles out there. We've seen one or two. As well, without having an obvious way to go. 500 platinum.
Oh, that's got to be more than you make in 15 years.
It may or may not
buy
be.
the ship for that.
It may or may not be, but you don't have a crew and you don't know the waters. You're right, you can buy a ship.
Well, I think our leader can tell you all about it.
All about what?
Yeah, I'm sure that Spaz can convince you.
I'll
Let me
step
get-
up. I go, yeah, my name is Spaz El Magnifico. And, you don't want to charge us 500 platinum.
No? Why not?
No.
We woke me up at 3 in the morning.
Well, we could have woke you up at 2:30, but you don't want to do that. Hey, you know it's not worth that much. We'll hire the captain. We'll do it
Fine.
much cheaper.
I'll give it half, 250 platinum.
Let me think about it. And I suddenly cast suggestion on him.
On her?
On her.
Yep.
So wisdom save DC 20.
Wisdom save DC 20.
You will take us wherever we want to go.
Alrighty. And she kind of, you see her kind of look and she says, let's back up, let's go.
And you won't charge us any money.
I'm not going to charge you anything. And she kind of, you hear her kind of blow the whistle, and all of a sudden you see a bunch of goblins come storming out of the basement. And she's like, come on, boys, get this stuff together. Let's get out of here. Goblins are all kind of running around, kind of getting things ready and whatnot. There's probably about 10 of them.
No, and I do it without.
Wow, look at you.
Without blowing your party up? That's pretty impressive.
So after about 10 minutes or so, goblins seem to have the riggings all ready to go, and she's kind of yelling out orders, and she's like, well, come on, get on board if you're going to come. Let's go. We don't have time to waste.
Walk on board.
Right? You do hear some grumbling going on. From the goblins and whatnot. You can hear it in their voices. They sound pretty upset. And they're kind of talking back and forth. And And so, but eventually the boat is ship is ready to push off. And which way would you like her to go, Spaz?
I'll look at Haleth. Where do we want to go, Haleth?
To the southwest a bit.
That southwest a bit.
Okay, alrighty. And
I'm calling Black Angus. I'm gonna get up and try and scout.
oh, okay, gotcha. I'm sorry, I didn't. I missed that.
More west than south, but
Okay, so the ship kind of starts to pull out of port there. As it does, you see that the blessed angels haven't unnoticed your departure. You see several of them are sitting sort of on the precipice of the area there at the very northwest corner, and sort of watching. And you do see that occasionally on the shore on the opposite side, you'll see that some sort of appear kind of along the shore as you guys are slowly moving through, as they're kind of staring off toward.
What's this captain's name?
Great question. Second, I wasn't ready.
I don't know why they're worried about us leaving. They didn't want us there in the first place.
Yeah, but we're like leaving in the middle of the night quickly.
She looks over to you and she says, "My name's Nix. Nice to meet you. Nix Dawnlight. What do you think of my crew? Tell you what, they don't eat much. That's good. Cheap."
They're pretty funny. Do you have a map, a nautical map? Maybe I can, pinpoint where we want to head first.
You run this group too. Thought that guy with the helmet looks a little bit funny, but he sure is persuasive, that's for sure. Let's go. Come on down here. It takes you downstairs.
Oh, he's definitely our leader.
Yeah, okay. And she kind of lays out this large map of the sea here. You see there's lots of markings on there and whatnot. Are you looking for the area that she had described?
Yeah, I try to pinpoint from, the map that I saw. I mean, I don't know nautical maps,
Sure.
but,
It's not hard. There's a big skull and crossbones across the center, and you see under there it says, "Do not enter."
Huh. Have you ever been to this area right here?
You see, as you do that, she sort of makes these movements that appears to be as if she's like trying to keep herself from being cursed. She's like, "Why would anybody ever go there? Are you crazy?"
There's all kind of riches there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of death too. Nobody ever comes back from there.
But we really need to go there.
We might even get free passage through the storm.
He kind of looks to both of you, and you can see that there's some trepidation in her thought process. She's there. And says, "What kind of treasures? How do you promise passage?"
Well, we don't know until we get there. And our leader handles all of the negotiations.
Yeah, you're taking us where we want to go.
It's not if it's going to hurt me, I'm not.
It's not going to hurt you.
I've been told never to go in there.
By whom?
Captain that trained me, every captain I've ever spoke to, nobody goes.
Well, somebody's going there right now.
Who?
How about you take us there and then we reevaluate?
Sits there and ponders it for a little while. She says, "Decision I ever made." All right, fair enough. Let's go.
That's not true. The worst decision you ever made was deciding to open the door and come out to see who was yelling.
She nods and she says, "I'm thinking that you're probably right."
So how long will it take to get out there?
So she says to you, she says it's probably going to be about a day for us to get there. I'm not going in at night. No way. It's going to be bad enough during the day as it is. And so we'll kind of sort of jaunt around a little bit until it's daytime when we get to the edge of that storm.
I agree. I think that's a good idea.
So she kind of goes back up and she kind of looks around, and you see that her first mate is one of the goblins up there trying to steer the wheel, and instead of having his hands on top of the wheel, he's controlling it from the bottom, hanging onto the bottom rungs that are there, kind of turning it back and forth. And as she comes up, he says in common, he says, "All set, boss. All set. We're almost there. It looks good. We're putting down the sails right now." Kind of nods and kind of taps him on the head, sort of patronizingly, and she says, "Nice work. Nice work. Let's get this going." And she kind of takes over the wheel, starts to sail out. What would you guys like to do? It's about 4 in the morning or so.
I'm gonna go sleep.
All right.
Me too.
Okay.
Me 3.
All right. So everybody's going to sleep then.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds great.
Yes.
How long does your suggestion last?
Oh, 24 hours, so I'll
perfect.
have to cast it again if we don't before we get there, probably.
Gotcha. All right.
I'll do my trance for 4 hours and then just hang out up top.
Okay.
For the other
good.
half.
So as you hang out up there, Haleth, you see that even though it's obviously goblins that are running the ship, they're very efficient, and they seem to be a pretty hardy crew, working in pretty good movements. Occasionally, we'll be arguing and bickering, but for the most part, they're doing that. You do hear rumblings from the goblins saying that this is very unusual for their captain to put them to sea this quickly. Known to be very meticulous and calculating, and they're not used to this sort of chaotic nature that she's scrambling to get this crew, you guys going.
Well, I'll respond. Whichever one is
Sure.
close. I'll just respond back that we're on an important mission, and she's doing what we've asked. She's a very good captain.
Yeah, and they agree, and then one of them says, "Yeah, but she's never taken on any personal crew. We've only carried cargo. Very unusual."
It is, but we have important things to do. It's worth her while.
They nod, and a lot of them repeat, yeah, important things. And the other one's like, yeah, very important. That's what our captain does, is all important stuff. The weather actually is pretty nice. A beautiful day today. The sun is out. The breeze is a little bit cool, obviously, because time of the year and being a little bit farther north. But for the most part, a pretty relaxing sort of cruise through the water and whatnot. She does seem to be going in sort of a southwesterly direction, and even though you don't look at nautical maps very much, it does appear that she is going probably south of where the clouds are on that map, or the do not enter. But she seems to be holding a pretty true line on the rest of the crew, or the rest of the party. You're able to sleep without much difficulty.
Well, everybody gather around so that we can listen to Spaz inspire us today. And while Spaz is inspiring us, I'll cast water breathing.
Okay.
Is Talon even on the boat? I can't see him anymore.
Because he's hiding.
Yeah,
Isn't he always?
He is always hiding. All right, sounds good. So everybody gets together. Ren typed in Orc AFK a minute, so he'll back if he.
Well, it's nice of him to tell the ship's crew, but not us.
Right.
So what got to do is make sure you have your sea legs today, and don't eat heavy food. because you might get sick if the storm gets turbulent. And make sure you hang on to the rails. And remember, Spaz is the greatest.
All right. So you guys get your bonus for the day, and
Oh, that's my mage armor.
And now we're looking for another ship coming by.
Well, at least if he blows up the boat, we can survive.
What's a few drowned sailors, right?
right.
Well, I'll do double the second one.
I figured. So the mage armor lasts for 2 days.
Okay.
That's all mage armors, right?
I saw you cast mage armor too. Unfortunately, it's just his. All right. So as you guys are kind of sitting out and about on the ship and kind of moving through, you do notice now that hey, Ren, you're in Orc, by the way.
Okay, yeah. I
Just
guess
so you know.
sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to let you know. I mean, I'm happy to know, but I don't know if the rest of the group. Are you on Black Angus again, Ren, kind of scouting and whatnot?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm on
gotcha.
Black Angus scouting ahead.
All right. So I was saying that the ship is traveling to the southwest, probably a little bit south of the area that's there. However, you do see Ren, as you're up on a higher sort of vantage point there. You do see that she is now sort of turning the ship kind of in a westerly direction, and you do see that the storm is actually off on the northwest sort of direction, or at least you see a storm out there. And as she starts to turn the ship there, she kind of yells to the crew and whatnot, and then she yells over to Spaz and says, "It looks like we got here a little earlier than I thought. I think we're just going to head in now." If you're okay with that.
Yep.
Yep, that sounds good.
All right. Yeah, you get 25 XP.
Yes, but you failed your initiative roll, and the spider got to attack first.
Right. Or Spire didn't have a chance. You're level 16. So you guys see that the ship starts to move towards the clouds there. You do see that there's this constant sort of maelstrom that's kind of occurring there. You can see the clouds are very dark and have this greenish hue to them. There's lightning that you can see, and the water, the waves are starting to kind of kick up a little bit as well. This is going to be rough.
We do have need to get to this place, though, so to save the world. Maybe it'll give us a little smoother sail.
Maybe. Have any of you been on the seas in a big storm before?
No.
No.
You may want to get below. I'm not sure you're going to be able to handle this. I mean, you can stay up here if you want, but...
Well, I'll stay up.
Alrighty.
I think I can handle it.
No, it's...
I won't.
Alrighty, so you kind of head down below. Anybody else that'll be staying up on top?
I'm going to stay up, but I tie myself off.
Oh, okay. You tie yourself to the mast like Eskin?
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm gonna do a Lieutenant Dan up on the mast.
Sounds good. I love it.
Is this all you got?
Ren, you are up above. You do see that the clouds are pretty high. You do think that you could potentially fly over it if you wanted to.
Oh, fly over the clouds? Yeah, I'll try that.
And so as you continue with that, You kind of fly over. You see that it appears to be a storm that stretches for what appears to be miles towards the north, and storm seems to be limited to about 100 feet off the actual ground, which is unusual for flying. You've noticed that typically storm seems to be much, obviously, higher, but it definitely appears you can see lightning and whatnot, and even what looks like tornadoes and things, air spinning, clouds moving. Alrighty, so I got Haleth and I have Talon on the deck. Spaz is tied to the mast. Merrick and Snowflake are... And Ren, you are flying.
Yep.
So, since they weren't sailing anywhere, would the hold of this ship be empty?
Maybe. You want to explore it?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
If I go in and see that it's empty, I want to sit and take 10 minutes to cast a ritual as we're getting ready to start entering the storm.
Okay. All right, gotcha. So as you go down, you do see it's empty. The only thing you see is it appears that there's just a few things that are down there. And when you lift open the, kind of pull back the... what am I trying to think? The tarp that's covering it, you kind of pull it back. You see that it contains bodies of dead hobgoblins.
Okay, I'll put that down and keep that for mental note.
Alrighty, sounds good. But yeah, otherwise it's empty. Just then you guys have sort of, kind of, as you're working on the ritual, you've sort of really started to move into the storm at this point. You hear the captain is now pretty much yelling back and forth to the crew and whatnot, and you see the goblins are kind of moving about on the seas there. Weather is pretty rough, so anybody that is on top of the deck, I need acrobatics rolls for, and then people underneath the boat, I need Constitution saving. Ren, you've sort of lost the ship. If you're still flying above within the clouds, you can kind of see it entering. If you want to get back down, you can. But
if there's any advantage to losing the ship, so I'll come back down just to make sure I don't lose him.
okay, all right, gotcha. Yep.
Do we actually need to make a roll if we're inside?
No. Nope.
Okay.
Do I get advantage
Well,
on my rolls
Constitution.
since I'm tied off?
He's in the tiny hut.
Do I get advantage on my rolls since I'm tied off?
Yes, you do. I don't know how that would work with it. I'm going to say that...
It does say that the atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry regardless of the weather outside.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we'll keep it as that. That's fine. You guys be all right. So yeah, Spaz, nice job. And then, Ren, you would have come down before the storm started or before you lost the ship. Where would you like to have Black Angus, and where would you like to be?
Whoa. That's a good question. Does the storm look like it extends out far? Like
It does, as far as you can see, actually.
All Black Angus dropped me off on the deck.
That lightning was close.
That was loud. Holy smokes. All right. So you have him drop you off on the deck, and then do you want him just to follow, or also on the deck?
Yeah, I'll just have him follow. He'll probably do better flying.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So, and then are you going to stay in the ship, or?
They're all on a tiny hut, huh?
Well, there's some people on the deck. Talon is on the deck. Spaz is tied to the mast, and Aelith is on the deck.
Okay, I'll stay on the deck. I'll go. I'll go hug the mast behind Spaz.
All right, I gotcha. So it'll be you can do an athletics. All right. So as you're trying to hang on to the mast, the boat kind of lurches in a direction, and you quickly sort of let go and sort of slide across the deck as it lurches quite a bit. I need a strength saving throw. All right, so as you're kind of sliding across the deck, you're quickly scrambling and grab onto one of the ropes that are there, and you're able to hang on to that rope as you almost go over the edge of the boat that's there, and you're kind of like flopping around on the boat as it lurches back and forth, hanging onto this rope. But you're able to at least hold your position.
Sweet.
You do hear the captain kind of yelling. It sounds like she's sort of losing control of the ship itself. She feels like the storm is a bit much for her. And then she quickly kind of yells back to Aelith, and she says, "Don't you have anybody that can make the storm go away or something?"
I look around at the crew. Nope, not a chance.
God, why in the world did I ever think about this was a good idea? And they continue to kind of struggle and whatnot with the ship itself. You do see that the ship is kind of pushing through the clouds and things that are here, and the heavy rains and stuff. And eventually, she's able to get to an area where it sort of clears for a bit. And as it does, you see that the landscape shows rocky crags that are sort of just kind of sticking out of the water that's there, and immediately you guys come out of the clouds, and as you do, the area inside the water is relatively calm. There is a cloud that is over top of you that you can see lightning and whatnot, and it seems very tumultuous, but there's some rain, but it's not as bad as it was through the rough part of the storm that you were at. And you see that past these jagged sort of rocks that are poking out, you see another sort of larger maybe island or beach, if you want to say that, and you see that it appears to be sort of a semi-oval shaped rock, which has tons of boards and broken boats and ships and things that are sort of strewn all along the beach. And then there are these ruins that appear to be these ancient black basalt sort of walls and standing stones that just kind of stand up and above off the island itself that's there. And as you finally come through, you hear the goblins kind of, sort of cursing and whatnot, and finally they're like, "Finally, we're here. It's about time. Out of this damn storm." Captain looks to you and she says, "All right, here you go. Get your people."
Right, I run down and get Snowflake and Merrick.
Alrighty, gotcha. You find them in a tiny hut, kind of sitting in the basement or the hull of the ship.
Okay, guys. Yeah, we're through the storm. Come on back up.
Okay.
So, Merrick, over there's the dead bodies I was talking about.
Oh, let's take a closer look. I want to see how they got dead.
As you look at the three dead hobgoblins that are there, you see that their necks appear to have been slit across, almost as in a assassin-like style. But you don't see any other sort of wounds or injuries at all.
So I would assume then that either this crew and the captain or somebody on the ship is definitely anti-hobgoblin.
Yeah. I think
Makes
you
me a
would.
little more wary of the whole bunch of them as well.
Sure. So as the ship is kind of milling about the clouds there, and you guys are coming up to the top of the surface, you do see that the captain indicates she's like, "I'm not getting you to the beach. You're gonna have to swim or something. There's no way I'm gonna get past these rocks." Anybody has a problem with this map?
Hey, Ren, can you take me over to the beach on Black Angus?
Sure.
So the
How
marker
far are we
is
all from the beach?
about 100 feet or so.
I could telekinesis myself across, but probably not everybody else.
They
Do you
must
want to
have
do that?
They must have a rowboat.
She does. He's like, "You're gonna pay me for that rowboat because I can't get it back."
Yeah, I'll flip her 20 gold pieces.
She takes it. So, just so I can kind of paint the picture here, so you know what this is like. So the wall of clouds that you can kind of see, it's completely surrounds it. Some of them you can't see on this map. Are hurricane force winds that you see that you've come through. The ceiling is the storm rage is about 60 feet above the level of the water as well as the ground, and it looks the same. There's this constant sort of rainy drizzle that's coming down and pretty relatively calm winds. You see lightning through the ceiling of this area of the clouds, but they doesn't appear to be striking the ground at all, and everything is pretty much soaking wet.
Do we see any evidence of another ship?
You do. So you do see that the beachhead is sort of littered with driftwood and splintered ruins of what looks like well over 100 ships or so. And you see that there's wrecks that sort of crowd the shoreline and everything, but most of them look to be kind of covered in barnacles and, probably people are all dead. You do see there's some yawning, skull hulls, and there's some tattered sails that kind of whip in the wind and whatnot along there. On the far east side of the map, there's that thing that looks more like a relatively new ship, here. So you do recognize that the one ship there kind of stands out from the rest of the weathered hulks. It appears to be sort of a recent victim of the winds and rocks, but it's definitely a victim nonetheless. The sail is broken and into two and is laying against a rock, and you do see that the ship is kind of in pieces laying across.
Maybe that's the Dal's or Darl Quinthos's boat.
Who's
So we don't-
in the rowboat with me?
I will be.
Well, we should investigate that ship, right?
Sure.
And as you kind of get onto the beach, the ground is obviously wet and the rocks are slippery as you try to go over them in the wood and whatnot. You also see to the north is this sort of what appears to be an ancient maze of ruined walls and standing stones, and the stone goes all the way up to the 60-foot ceiling. So literally, it's almost like this roof to the interior of the island. And you see that the walls are this black basalt.
Does it look similar to the circle around the ruins to the south?
Oh, I'm sorry.
When we went to the south, to the ziggurat.
I understand what you're saying. I misunderstood. I apologize. Yes, it does look very similar to the stone. The one in the jungle. Sorry, I understand.
Yep. Sorry.
No, it's my fault. So as everybody kind of gets off the boat, Hal is not here. Okay, gotcha. I'll take Hal. Thank you. Or the ship, I should say. You do see that she quickly sort of turns the ship around and she starts to push through. And as you guys are rowing away in the rowboat, she's like, "How'd I ever decide to come here? I don't understand it." Crazy senses. And the ship quickly departs through the clouds as fast as she came in. All right. So you all are on the shore now at this point?
Merrick, you wanted to go check out the boat around the edge?
Yeah, I think we should just see if anybody survived and if they have, where they've gone, etc.
Okay, I'll head that way.
All right. So you guys continue to kind of go over the rocks and things of the sort, kind of clambering over. As you get about maybe 100 feet or so, you see what looks like a couple orcs that are kind of moving through the wreckage that is there. They don't really seem to notice you at this point.
We're going to the wreckage.
There were orcs on the ship that we saw in the scrying, right?
Correct.
Either of these guys look familiar?
So these two do not.
I'm like flying on Black Angus over to the ship. I was gonna do it before I knew about the orcs. I don't really see them, do I?
Yeah, so you can definitely see that they're there. Now you can only go about 60 feet up, but yes, you can.
I'll dip back down when I see them.
Okay, all right, gotcha. And there's more than just one. There's about 10 or so that you can see. Kind of moving through the wreckage. It looks like they're collecting wood and things of the sort.
Is anybody up here with me, or am I all by myself?
No, I was right behind you.
Should we continue?
Sure,
Spaz?
I'll send Puff up just to make sure that we don't run across any of these guys in between the rubble that we're not aware of.
Yeah, I gotcha. So Puff is kind of scooting around, kind of to the flank of Merrick, kind of checking the rubble and things like that.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good. Continues to report back. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Are you guys moving stealthily?
I
As
am.
much as I can, yeah.
All right, gotcha. So if you're doing stealth, go ahead and roll stealth rolls for me. So, yep. All right. You guys are moving across. Unfortunately, though, with the slippery rocks and kind of these boats and whatnot, and having difficulty with some of the terrain, many in the party have some difficulty kind of staying fairly hidden. And matter of fact, as you get to right about where you're at there, Merrick, you see one of them, a towering orc of sorts. He looks definitely like the leader of the group. Kind of peeks over the boat, and as he does, he sorry, they're all red. They're actually kind of peeks over, and he yells to you, and he says, "Hey, you! I see you coming over those rocks. Who are you?"
I'm a shipwrecked sailor from that boat over there. We got caught in the storm and wrecked up here.
See, he kind of yells out. He's like, "Boys! Hey, boys! We got company!" So several more kind of poke through and kind of stands up on top of the boat. And as he does, he like, "You're not here to attack us, are you?"
We won't attack you if you don't attack us.
Like, just trying to get out of here, trying to build our boat.
Were you shipwrecked on this wreck here?
Yep. Like, all that's left of my ship.
Are you the captain?
The Secret Hand was a beautiful boat.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to fix it?
He looks at you and he says, "Of course. Don't you think?"
I have my doubts. It looks like, anything that's in two pieces like that likely won't float again.
Well, do you have any other suggestions how we're going to get off this rock?
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out, I guess. Maybe you can rebuild a new boat. How about any passengers? Did they survive?
Says, the crew, their charge.
Their charge?
Yeah. Don't think we'd come out here for nothing, do you?
What have you found anything interesting?
Yeah. Don't go inside. Kind of points to the...
Why?
Lost 6 good men in there. Monsters, creatures. Loud rocks. Lots of ropes around.
Interesting.
Tried to follow the guy that brought us to this godforsaken place. He ended up losing us within the maze up there. Probably still in there. He's most likely dead.
Well, maybe we'll find him and bring him out alive.
I'm not taking him out of here, that's for sure. He'll have to find his own ship, and I'm not taking you guys either.
Spaz, what have you got to say about that?
Well, you don't want to take us. That's fine.
Okay.
We'll get out of here. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, thanks for the information. Maybe we'll see you on the beach and later. And if we help you build your boat, maybe you can take us off here anyway.
Walks up and he says, "Wow, how many you got?" And he looks around.
I guess mostly what you can see. I don't know what's behind me.
This is the guy with a hat. A large bird.
Yeah.
He's a dog. It's fake. It's a costume.
Wow, it's a big dog. And he says, "Well, I think, not counting the bird, I see 5 of you, so I guess take 5 of you with me."
And whoever we find and bring out,
Maybe. I suppose. Ah, I see.
Okay.
No women in your crew, huh? Probably smart. You know how men can get sometimes.
Yeah, I know what we're like.
Yeah. I don't sail with women. Trouble, I'm telling you.
I think women are just as good as men at that.
Ah, I disagree.
That's fine. So I'm gonna head off towards the ruin.
Alrighty. See, sort of, kind of walks back, but you can see all the orcs now are still kind of watching you all as you're kind of moving about here.
None of them try to stop us.
No. One of them yells, "Be careful in there." You guys are going into the ruins to explore? Alright.
Yep.
Is the group staying together for the most part, or are you guys separating?
I'm not going in alone.
Together.
You're way out there, though.
Yeah, I'm just waiting here.
I'm casting, what's that spell?
I don't know.
Crown of Stars.
Oh, okay, cool. So, Merrick, as you kind of get up there and kind of look around, as well as the rest of the group, you see that this is essentially a maze of sorts, but there's not really. It doesn't have connected walls all the way around. It appears that the walls are kind of broken, and there's piles of rubble that you sort of have to climb over to get there. And so, the maze in general is not really a maze in that sense, but it does have definitely walls that could be hiding things behind them and things of the sort as you kind of move.
I'm going to ask Talon if he can tell which direction the previous chap went.
I'll kind of poke around in the sand and see what I see.
Yeah. Well, I have a survival. Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. So, Talon, you do see that there are various footsteps that are here. Most of them appear to be orcish. However, you do see some smaller footprints that may be a smaller humanoid that are here, and you notice that those appear to go towards the center-ish of the map, per se, I want to say, kind of off to the left. And you would be able to follow those if you wanted to.
Can I crawl up this wall right there?
You can crawl up the wall, but the wall goes into the storm clouds. It looks at least 60 feet, and the ceiling of the clouds are 60 feet high. So you definitely could do that to see how high the wall is if you wanted. But you would go into the storm.
Okay. Is there anything on these walls? Like, are there any runes or anything?
Yeah, so they're pretty much just black basalt. No runes are carved, at least into the walls that you see.
Do all of the walls go that high, or just that particular one?
Nope, they all do. As you continue to kind of move through the ruins of this maze-like area, you continue to kind of see various different tracks, Talon, that are here. You do see the orcs tracks again, kind of moving through. You do see that there's some running strides, as well as some people kind of looks like being hurt or dragging their leg behind them. You continue to follow the small footprints that you see, as well as others, but it's becoming kind of more and more difficult, at least initially, because there's a lot of tracks going back and forth.
Am I generally going the right direction, Talon?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it looks good.
Does anything happen when I rap on one of the walls? Does it sound hollow or solid, or
It sounds solid to you. Yep.
hand doesn't pass through it?
No, your hand does not pass through it.
Getting a little far ahead here, guys.
So, Merrick, as you continue to move through, and Talon, as you're checking the trail here, you do see now that the trail of the small humanoid feet is becoming sort of sporadic, where you can kind of figure it out, but the ground is not as forgiving as it was towards the front, due to the fact of all the traffic that you see. You do see that the orc traffic does head in this general direction as well.
Up this one, Talon?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So as you, you kind of continue and following the footsteps there, you do see that they do go kind of to the west, just past this wall that you're going up towards. Once you get to the north, then they're going to kind of burn off to the west.
Have I noticed any signs of fight or battle?
Not yet, nope. So, as you kind of come to there, as you come around the corner, you do see to the north is an area where the ruins are different now at this point. You do see what appears to be numerous spindly stone stalagmites that kind of fill up this area, this entire little opening that you see here. They're kind of carved with strange slash-like glyphs along the vertical lines of them, but they don't really seem to have any inner purpose. So you can think of it down the middle of these stalagmites, there's glyphs that sort of come down from the top to the bottom in a vertical. You do see in the center of this sort of forest of stalagmites, if you want to think of it that way, there's a small tangle of what looks like green glowing gems that grows at the base of the stalagmite in the center.
Anybody know what a phylactery looks like?
It's a big building with machines and stuff. They make cars.
They go froom froom.
What's a car?
I believe they can look like anything, Merrick.
Okay.
Eric, as you step there, one of the stalagmites that's there, suddenly you see it opens, a large mouth kind of opens on the side of it, and the rest of them all animate as well. And you see long spindly tentacles kind of wrap out from them. I'll have everybody roll for initiative.
You just wanted to do that to test out your new combat thing, didn't you?
Did.
I'm going to use a luck point to roll again.
Sure, absolutely. One of your fate points.
Well, my luck.
Oh yeah, your luck. I'm sorry, I forgot you had thinking of the fate thing.
Oh, good job, Spaz.
Yeah,
That's
worked
way
well.
better.
Worked well. All right. Everybody's good? They're gonna be.
Geez, you roll a 20 and 2 people beat you.
That's rough.
I rolled a 20 and 3 people beat me.
I thought I had lucky. I guess I don't have lucky.
Yeah, I didn't think so. You have fate points though. So if you
Yeah,
want to,
I got fate point. Well, I got inspiration too. So
that's true. You do. Yep.
I'll just click it off.
We were talking about lucky before the game.
I got other characters got lucky on it. I just thought I had a lucky. I'm going to get it.
Coming up. So, Merrick, you see one of the tentacles kind of wax out and hits you, and as it does, you are now grappled by it.
Hold on.
Yep.
I think I would have casted shield.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds good. I forgot about your shield. So that would have bounced off for the initial shield. Yeah, that's what I was waiting. Thank you. And then you see the other 2 more tentacles kind of swing towards you. Sorry, 3. The last one does grab you, though.
Yep.
And has now wrapped around you, and now you're grappled at this point. The rest of them don't do anything at this point. Haleth, you are up.
So I think I was at an angle that I could see him be. He was pulled towards, right?
I think you would see the tentacles kind of swinging out and about.
Great. I'll go there,
Uh-huh.
peek around the corner, and shoot at that one in front of
Yep.
that has him.
Yep. Wow, nice shot.
Yay.
Good start.
Yeah, but it's only one of them.
I'll still take that.
Holy cow.
And does the ambush go on right now?
What's that?
Because my ambush master, the first one I hit.
Yes.
All right. So my bonus action.
It does. It goes on right now. Yep, your first attack. Nice. Alrighty, sounds good. Alrighty. Sir Talon. Oh, cool. Awesome. They all failed. All of a sudden, a whole barrage of arrows kind of shoot out, hitting all of them. Nice. Okay, sounds good. Nice, I like it. They all fail. Did they really? Yeah. Fantasy Grounds is broken. Nice job. Alrighty. Ren. Yes. Okay. Diving right in there. Ooh. This is with the first attack. Okay. Alright, sounds good. Alright, so the stalagmite in front of you reaches out towards the griffin, misses. Each of its tentacles, whoops, hits that one. Actually, then it's going to try to attack you. Yeah, sure. Thanks. Appreciate that. So both of you are now grappled. And he tries to bite you, Ren, and he misses. Oh yeah, sure. Sorry. What does that put your armor to? That's still a hit for him to grapple. Alright, he still misses with his bite. One in the back, Snowflake, you see it throws a bunch of things that luckily that's just for a grapple. Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you. He quickly blurts that out to you. All right. Yep. So the big explosion occurs there. Thank you. I forgot about that. It then. The only thing that's left is Puff. Grabs Puff. And pulls him to there. Snowflake. Yeah, I'll say they are. That's fine. Okay. Okay, gotcha. I think it's supposed to be 50%, but we'll do that for today. I'll look it up later. Okay. Is there any intelligence that they have to be able to cast that? Okay, gotcha. I couldn't remember. Perfect. Alrighty, sounds good. All right. All right. Okay, and so it light, and it hits. I think it'll be dead. Yep. So as that happens, Merrick, the one next to you dies and releases its grapple. I deleted it already. Oh, it has a crown above his head. Can you see the crown or no? Or is it only on mine? Number 11. Okay. Maybe the crown's only on mine. Okay. Alright, it must just be. Alright. This one is not affected by your spell? Nope. So, Merrick, you see... You want to shield that or no? Yeah. Okay. So he pulls you right next to the rest of these that are here. Oh, and you would have been grappled, but... Everything else around here is grappled. It takes a bite at you, Merrick. The one that's right above you. Oh yeah, can you roll the table for me, please? Okay. It moves to there. Pass. Sure. It's the one that's right on top of Puff. Yep. Okay. Where you going there, Spaz? Alrighty. And when that's done, we'll do Puff and then Black Angus. I didn't have it. Oh, God. Oh, no. So, Merrick, you don't, the saving throws, I'm okay with you rolling in the open. It's all right. I'll be happy to drag it over. So you rolled a 5. Plus, Merrick wants to use a fate point. But yes, you're right. Alrighty. Sounds good. Pretty much. Alrighty. Why don't you go roll 40-10? All right, roll a d6. Perfect. So for 3 rounds. What would you like Puff to do, Talon? He is grappled. Yeah. Okay, it's going to be a strength check. It is. See what they have written here. So yeah, it's a either strength or acrobatics. DC 15. Just go ahead. Okay, that sounds good. So he's unable to get out. Yeah, it was very close. You're right. Alrighty, and then for Black Angus is also grappled. Yep, one of them grappled him. Okay. Sorry, I thought I gave you. All right. So he breaks free of the grapple. Yeah, no kidding. All right. If it's his action, yeah, he can move. Okay. Aelith. Yes. That's a nice hit. Alrighty. That map. I'll open. Oh. Okay. All right, Talon. Yep. That's an hour. I didn't know. Yep. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. Oh. Kind of bounces off. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Sounds good. That one hits. Alrighty. All right. Are you incapacitated from him or no? From Spaz? I forget. I'm sorry. You can do a save. Can you? Oh, you can't save. That's right. Yeah. Just chill. Oh man. Alrighty. Sounds good. Ren. Yep. It's a hit. Okay. It would be Puff's turn again. I'd missed him in the initiative earlier. You're going to have him break grapple again? Okay. Oh, okay. He tries. Having a hard time. Alrighty. 19 is incapacitated. Are they all incapacitated? Yeah, looks like it. Snowflake. No, not if they're incapacitated. I don't think so. I don't think they can do anything, can they? They're incapacitated? So, incapacitated cannot take any actions or reactions. What it says. Yeah, I guess it would then, because that's not an action or a reaction. But yeah, so they do. They get a roll. Number 8 would be at this point. Yeah, he fails. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Never. Yeah, I agree. All right. Like only one succeeded. Correct. That's right. Nothing yet. All right. No problem. That's about perfect because you guys are at opposite ends of the battlefield, so you may not even have known they were incapacitated, really. I guess you would have seen the pattern. All right, Black Angus. It usually is. Yes, that's true. That's true. What would you like Black Angus to do there, Ren? Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, fair. All right. If he can, right? Yeah, it is. All right. I'm just gonna have him stay there then, because it's a wall. Okay, thanks. This one is still incapacitated. One is not. Yes, 11. Yep. This one moves over and takes a bite at Ren. Hits. And suddenly, Spaz, you see some tentacles come shooting out towards you. One grabs you. Alrighty. Alright, go ahead and shield. I'll take grapple off. You do. 2 more tentacles come out towards you. All 4 of them miss. 13, confused on the table, please. Okay. Number 13 is the one. Baz, what you got? Let me see on your circle what you got. See it way below. Did you? For me, it's on the... Okay. I do see it now, yep. Yes, you can get all of them. Yep. Nice. Yep. He likes it. Alrighty, sounds good. All right. Aelith. All right. Nice. It. Yeah. Yep. It reminds you of the storm that you took the ship through to get here. That destroyed a bazillion ships out on the... Nice shot. But you could go up there and see. Alan. Oh, nice. We get to see all the... No, there isn't. That's... they all failed, I think. Nice. Merrick, you're not incapacitated anymore. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Nice. That's a hit. Very nice. That one is the one that has all the gems next. Yeah. I got him. Yep, I'm gonna grab it. Thank you. Alrighty, sounds good. All failed. Wow. Nice hit. Yep. Nice. Oh, 3 1s, really? All right. I know. Right, exactly. Don't tell him. Shh. It's a custom mod I built. All right. Puff is free. He's free, by the way. Oh, no, he's not. It's 13 that has him. Yes. Oh, man. Sorry. Okay. Nice try, Puff. Snowflake. All right. Sounds good. That one hits. Yep. All right. Black Angus is just chilling, I think, right? All righty. Let's hold us. Oh, thank you. I forgot about that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So he would. Yep. Well, it moves that way. Just checking something. All right. So you see a tentacle from 33, the one that's far up there, go shooting out towards Snowflake, but it doesn't quite reach him, and on his way back, it swings towards Talon. Oh, 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 oh. All right. So it grapples the one that's in front of it, the actual roper that's there, pulls it back towards him. Off. Maybe. The remaining tentacles come shooting towards Talon over there. Oh my god. It should quit while it's ahead. Alright. So the one in front of it is now restrained. And the last time. I apologize. Yeah, fourth. Fourth one hit you. All right, sounds good. He has to reroll. Okay, great. Nice. So he misses with the fourth one. All right. If you want to, you want to? Oh, I was gonna say, I'll allow it. All right. So this one does move outside your range there, Ren. All right. Sounds good. Oh. Oh wow, they are fumbling like crazy now. Sends 2 towards Spaz. Nope, missed both. One towards Ren, and the other one towards Ren. All right, misses all of them. 15 sends a tendril towards Ren. Oh, it is. Yep. I forgot. All right, so it's going to. I thank you for reminding me. It'll try to break its grapple, and it does. As oh, nice. Nice job. All right, Haleth, you are up. Nice. That's it. Hmm. Even better. Yeah, that's even better. Let me get the table here for the critical roll. So it's stunned. Yes, that's correct. It doesn't matter then. Yep. All right. Ellen. Yep. Nice. That's it. Uh-huh. Oh. Yep. No, it didn't. Eric. Yep. Sounds good. Ren. All right. Good. Nice. All right, so you destroy the last one that's there. See rocks all over the place. Oh, I. So you see the gems themselves, they are glowing green gems. They don't look like emeralds. They're not really a gem that you've ever seen before. They're a very unique gem. There's about 8 of them that are here, and you notice that they're sort of embedded in the dirt and sort of encrusted on rocks and things like that. Okay. All right, sounds good. If you're gonna kind of work on it to try to kind of dig them up or whatnot, and kind of knock the other rocks off them, you can do that. Or if you want to pick up the larger rock that they're connected to, you can do that too. Yeah, as you kind of move the dirt around, they're all attached to something there. Okay, all right, sounds good. Does anybody have proficiency with jeweler tools? Okay. So Haleth, you do that. You do the best you can. There's still some rock that's either stuck on it or you've left some of the gem on the rock itself. But you are able to chip off 8 of these gems. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty beat up and. Yeah. Are you looking for orc tracks? Are you looking for those small humanoid tracks? What ones are you looking for? Okay, so the orcs kind of stick around this general area here. You do see the small footprints go up to the north, and it does appear that it looks like a group of about 6 footprints. The small, couple small humanoids, and then regular humanoid-shaped footprints. All right, so you guys continue through the kind of follow the footsteps. You do notice that they continue north, Talon, and then they kind of dip into that little sort of turn That's just to the north there. As you go directly north, it kind of turns to the right and then around to the left. So that's the direction they're headed. And front, they go that way. Merrick, you see that it kind of twists around, and then you do see off to the north is what appears to be the edge of these large storm clouds that you see that you came through at the top of this sort of area here. And then you do see kind of off to the northwest along that wall that you see there, that the ruin there seems more dilapidated than the rest. And that north wall, that section there is sort of destroyed right here. Sorry, right here. It appears that that was a connection that was there, and there's a large pile of rubble there. You see the same on the south section. Yep, right there. Yeah, they kind of head up to the north, and they sort of wrap around this wall that's here. As you get to there, you see that clouds continue along the northern side, and right where that red circle is at, you see about anywhere between 10 to 15 foot in diameter circular obsidian disc lying on the ground. If you want to think of it almost like the Four Corners, if you've seen that or been haven't, it's just a large obsidian disc sitting there, and it sits about a foot off the ground. It's kind of raised up. You see it right next to the clouds that are. They are. Yep. So you see that the footprints lead right towards the disc, but you don't see. I misspoke. You see one set of small humanoid footprints moving back, so you can see them leading that way, and then you see a small set moving back towards the area where like Ran and the Griffin are. No, you don't see anything over there, and it's all clouds that are there. Um, so Snowflake is not with you. If Spaz looks like he's way behind you. Oh, Spaz has kind of moved up forward, but Snowflake is nowhere to be seen. So I'm sorry. As you get close to that, I apologize. You see that it's about 15 foot in diameter, and it's a circular disc, and it's all obsidian. And the rim is decorated with strange ruins that go all the way around it. And you see there at 3 points around the disc. So if you think of a triangle being there, and there being 3 points at each end, you see that there are stylized eyes that have been carved in, and each has a shallow hollow that's carved to represent what looks like a. He's actually making his way towards you. All right, sounds good. So as you look, you do find that there are footprints here, several of them, and they do appear to be humanoid in shape. Yep, I got you, Snowflake. It looks like, yeah, it looks like there was a battle here. So it looks like a bunch of these statues are destroyed, and you do see what looks like traces of blood are kind of here, and it does appear to be fairly recent. No bodies, nope. So as she points, you can see that there is a tiny little hint of blue that's kind of glowing, and you see it underneath one of the fallen torsos. That's yeah. So you notice that as you're kind of digging and digging there, you're trying to make your way to get to that gem. It's much deeper, farther underneath this large rock torso of the statue that's there. But you can continue to work on it. The rest of the group, you are up towards the obsidian circle there. What would you guys like to do? Alrighty. That's what you guys see. Alrighty, sounds good. So you recognize immediately that these are not archonic ruins, some sort of a language. Don't believe you. Let me check. No, you cannot. Oh. Okay, yep, cool. Alright, yeah, it's all orcish to you, exactly. Alrighty. Anybody else by the disc? Anything else? Your thoughts? Let me look. No, it is not a language you recognize either. Matter of fact, I don't think anybody here can. At least the ones that are at the. Okay, sounds good. Snowflake sits down. Alrighty. Haleth and Talon. So you guys see these statues that are here. Haleth, you're digging underneath this statue trying to get towards the blue. It does appear to be much farther underneath it than what you had expected. You continue to make your way through it. Okay. So as both of you are digging through, about 10 minutes goes by, and you start to dig through, and you find that there's tiny little shards of blue. I mean, we're talking like maybe an inch, and they're all broken. And so as you're digging through the dirt, you're sort of picking this out like glass out of sand, pulling out these small little blue gems that are here that are tiny, really, really small pieces as you continue to dig. It does, but these are minuscule compared to the green. The green ones are about the size of a hand, I would say, like a softball. These are tiny little shards of but it does glow just like the other one, and it is. There's more underneath. You can see that as you're digging through. I assume you'll continue to dig. Alrighty. So anybody else doing anything else while the 10 minutes of comprehend languages occurs? Okay. Sounds good. How about you, Spaz? Okay. So as you're kind of looking around there, Spaz, and kind of taking in the sights and whatnot, you suddenly hear a sound. Quiet, but you've heard this before. And you hear the sound of what sounds like a crossbow bolt come shooting at you. And it misses. And as you turn around to look, you see nothing. From the southwest. Nope, it went into the clouds. Alrighty, gotcha. So as you kind of fly around and look there, you don't see anything that's there. You don't see anything that appears to be new tracks or anything at this point. Correct. Right. Yeah, you're focused on it. As you guys search around for the remaining time of the ritual casting, you don't seem to find anything or any new tracks or anything at this point. Snowflake, you are done with your ritual casting. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, sorry, Merrick. That's what you see over there is a large, just a cloud wall that essentially goes down to the roof, but nothing along there. Yep. Sorry, I missed. Alrighty. You're kind of searching around the area there. Okay. as you get to there, Merrick, you hear you hear a crossbow bolt shoot from behind you. Alrighty, sounds good. So you throw up your shield, and the crossbow bolt bounces and hits the ground behind you. As you turn around, you don't see anything. What do you like to do, Merrick? It was at an angle from the that wall that you just came from. Okay, sounds good. You kind of scoot around the edge there. Sounds good. So as you kind of look around, you do see that there are some small humanoid footprints that are here, and you kind of poke at each one. Oh, any new ones? Okay, gotcha. Yep. All right, so you're going to kind of hide right there at that corner. All right, I gotcha. So Snowflake, you've been able to read that. The rest of the group is together there. What would you guys like to do at the circle? Yep. All right, so it'd be Ren and Spaz. Okay. So I'll just drag it over. Alrighty, and then so Haleth and Talon, you guys are still kind of scrounging for those little shards of blue. You collect a pretty good handful of them. There's more underneath there, and you could continue to work on it. You think it'd probably take about an hour to be able to really excavate the entire amount of crystals. Okay. Yes, it looks like that these statues probably had animated at some point and were destroyed by some creature or creatures. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. All right. Sounds good. All right. So as you peek around the corner there, you see that this is what looks like a tide pool, probably from the ocean, kind of coming into this area on high tide and whatnot. In which, in fact, it is high enough that there's water moving. And you see there's this, it's kind of a murky pool, and it's sort of thick with sort of moldering driftwood and clumps of seaweed that fill it. And growing from the tangle of wood and water is this immense black plant that stands here. And it goes almost about 50 feet high, so it's just about to the top. And you see its roots kind of coil out through the surrounding water, and its trunk is sort of twisted. And there's 8 rubbery looking dark branches that just sort of gently sway in the wind as it's sitting there. All right. No, there are not. Yep, there is. So you see kind of a faint red glow coming from the water itself. Sorry, Snowflake, I thought I'd drag that. Definitely doesn't look natural. And matter of fact, Talon, being a ranger that you are, you recognize that this is something more of what you would expect in the Underdark versus up here on the surface world. This looks like a tree or a fungus that you would see in the Underdark, not on the. Okay. Okay. That would hit. Go ahead and roll damage for me. As you do, the tree animates. Yep. And then what I'll do is I'll have everybody roll for initiative.